Right. So hopefully this audio works. This is kind of testing out, seeing how things are going. But yes, this is health, wealth, and Web three. So anyone that's been paying attention in the past 3 years, it's been very difficult to be healthy, and it's been very difficult. Let's get this. It's been challenging to be healthy. It's been challenging to maintain wealth and just kind of navigate the quickly evolving world that we live in. It's been a big struggle. So with this podcast, what I want to what I hope to do is to just kind of open discussions on some of these things that we're encountering, some of the problems, some of the solutions. Get feedback from people, um, and just there's we are in the midst of an enormous paradigm shift, one that the world has rarely seen before. And with this paradigm shift, we need to find out, we need to create and test, experiment, utilize new tools, um, new understandings in order to most effectively uh, navigate and make progress, individually and collectively. So, kind of one of the big things that I want to start with and want to talk about is mental health. Mental health and just kind of having your mind. Uh, how was it put for me? Someone told me you have to have the right kind of soup. Your brain has to have the right soup in order to function properly, in order to heal, in order to recover. Just having the right soup essentially is absolutely vital. That's something that I myself have learned over the past 2 3 years, that just how vitally important that finding that right recipe is is uh, to to maintaining just basic mental health, and to not only maintain mental health, but maintain many other aspects of life that are impacted and affected very deeply by mental health. So some of the things I want to start with, finding homeostasis, as well as biohacking. Homeostasis is just kind of the broad concept of some of your body's internal systems that they're able to find a balance, find that ideal operating zone, and just how they maintain and uh, yeah, being able to stay in that Goldilocks zone, for lack of a better term. So homeostasis, the your blood sugar is a homeostatic regulated process. Blood sugar, blood pressure, breathing rate, heart rate, metabolism, um, metabolism of specific neurotransmitters, of specific hormones. These are all um, various processes and levels of homeostasis. And having the right soup for all of this in order to just be able to function and maintain is primal, or is vital, I should say. Excuse me. Um, so a couple of the tools that I use in order to uh, help my body find and maintain this homeostatic balance. Uh, it starts absolutely with greens, with getting enough vegetables. If you have the traditional, the U.S. recommended plate serve, that that's all bullshit. It's getting better slowly, but for any person, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, what you're consuming, what you're eating. When you sit down, the plate of food in front of you, uh, should be normally approximately, in, let's just say, in size, it should be approximately 75% fruits and vegetables, primarily vegetables, vegetables with fiber. You don't want to have too much sugar in there. You want to be able to, you want that fiber to help balance out your sugar, um, your blood sugar levels. But just eating proper amounts of vegetables, of fruits, of, in eating those fruits and vegetables, you want to essentially be consuming every color of the rainbow. That you don't want to stick with just red. You want these different colors that you find in different fruits and vegetables. These are all typically different antioxidants. These are different. The colors are typically uh, literally the protection mechanisms that this specific plant has developed through evolution in order to protect itself and maintain its own health. And a lot of these things are antioxidants. When you look at like green tea, for example, has ECGC, has theanine, has theocobalamin or theobromine, which you also find theobromine in dark chocolate. Um, and these are things that, for, let's say you're an insect and you're crawling along and you eat a green tea leaf. Some of these compounds are literally going to fry the electrical system, fry the neuronal system of this insect or animal that's trying to consume this plant. But then as humans, we consume these, and we've also evolved with these things over time. In green tea, what normally would, let's say a small insect or small animal, what would normally poison them, actually stimulates in a very beneficial, positive way, um, basically our corresponding internal systems. So, uh, you know, f- uh, let's look at theanine, for example. Theanine is a great, uh, theanine calms, soothes, just in a hyper stimulated world, where we have, just all the lights, all the flat, just all this and that going. And then even with the things that we consume and ingest, there's coffee, tea, there's sugar in everything. There's caffeine. There's all these things that really energize, and stimulate your system, and in many cases that can, combination can overstimulate your system. So something like theanine that you find in green tea actually balances, it stimulates GABA uh, uh, internal processes. So GABA is the rest and digest molecule, helps your body calm down, slows your breathing rate, slows your heart rate. And it also is associated with kind of that sense of well-being. So, there's a reason why meditation and tea drinking are commonly correlated, because the, specific compounds that we find in green tea actually lead to and stimulate just kind of a meditative state in the body. So, and that meditative state that your body is being naturally guided to, or your body is, the green tea is helping your body naturally find this homeostatic balance range throughout your various systems. Um, so, that's kind of a two for right there of, what is homeostasis and what is biohacking. So biohacking is, uh, I believe there's kind of a specific description for biohacking, is where, people using CRISPR, and people significantly altering various, or jumping a biological process. Um, Things like nootropics. Nootropics are uh, acetylcholine beneficial factors and cofactors. Acetylcholine is typically associated with thinking, memory, uh, just that sort of thing. And so with biohacking, what you're doing, you're with an understanding of the system that you're trying to optimize. Let's say with mental health, stress. We live in a world that we're just overwhelmed and overloaded with stress. And cellularly, physiologically, what is stress? Stress is inflammation. Stress is an inflammatory response, or stress causes an inflammatory response, whether systemically, whether specifically on a targeted organ or organ system. uh, just that process of inflammation is really starting and leading to the grounds for, honestly, a lot of these other complications and a lot of other problems to be able to exist, and thus proliferate beyond just kind of these basic problems. So with biohacking, and using acetylcholine promoters, uh, let me actually grab. These are the supplements that I've been using personally since the beginning of the year, and these have been enormously beneficial for me. So we'll start with bioperine. Hopefully that's legible. It's not backwards, whatever. But so bioperine, this is extracted from black peppercorns, and uh, per- bioperine or pepperine is, yeah, from from black pepper. What that does is helps the assimilation process. So your body's ability to uptake nutrients that are being put into it, to be able to utilize what is put into your body, and effectively and efficiently utilize all of what your body is taking up. That's what bioparenting is really great for. Then we have this here, GABA Calm Mind. So this has magnesium, uh, and a magnesium amino acid complex. There's like 8, 10 different types of magnesium, and they all do different different jobs. There's different. Your body can only uptake certain amounts of all the different ones, and they all do different things. Typically, they're calming, relaxing, just kind of helps your cellular processes return to kind of that balanced, calm level. And gamma aminobutyric acid. So GABA again is the main neurotransmitter that's associated with rest and digest. So taking this is going to, yeah, just help the body, um, being in a world and society, global society, where just we are inundated with stimulation. With that stimulation, there is epinephrine, norepinephrine, and all these stimulatory neurotransmitters and hormones being released. And we don't have a lot of systems that are promoting the counter release of these stimulatory things like GABA. So GABA is a wonderful thing to kind of level out. Here we have pycnogenol, uh, pine bark extract. So pycnogenol is a very potent, powerful antioxidant. As you can see, it's extracted from pine bark. But what pycnogenol helps is to, your specifically, I take it for kind of the neuronal system, your nerves, neurons, your brain, and all that sort of stuff. Pycnogenol helps the ability to uh, ward off free radical damage, as well as recover from any damage that has occurred. Pycnogenol is just great for preventing antioxidant or free radical damage, and as well as promoting more antioxidant activity in the body overall. So, right now I have a screen right in front of me. I got a screen right here. I got a computer. I got my cell phone. I have a couple routers back behind me. I'm surrounded by routers right now. I actually have a bunch of power lines. So all of these things are doing, I am absolutely being inundated right now with free radicals or various ionized electrons that are, these electrical charges are going through, the screen right in front of me or through my cell phone or, even from like a Wi-Fi router or something. There are electricalized, charged electrons that are imbalanced from that electrical circuitry going on, and those electrons are just flying around freely. And what they're doing is they're causing essentially uh, cellular and genetic damage. And these free radicals are actually a big component of uh, just kind of this systemic inflammation that we're kind of seeing a lot of across a lot of boards with a lot of people. Um, so pycnogenol and antioxidants are excuse me, that's one that is absolutely vitally important for anyone and everyone moving forward, I believe. Um, Especially if you're in crypto, if you're in technology, if you're one of those people that's uh, just interacting nonstop with kind of technology uh, everywhere you turn, kind of every part of your day, which a lot of people do normally, but just with with crypto, you can be a little bit deeper in that than others. So yeah, antioxidants like pycnogenol are absolutely vital. Then we have, see, Alpha Brain. This is Joe Rogan and Aubrey Marcus's company on it. Alpha Brain's been around for 15 plus years or something. That is, I absolutely, this is 100% I recommend. Um, as long as, of course, for any of these supplements, uh, check with a medical practitioner first and foremost, especially if you are taking some type of medication before introducing any type of new supplement. Just so you understand kind of what you're ingesting, and understand any potential interactions that may be occurring. But with Alpha Brain, I started taking Alpha Brain shit like 8 years ago, 10 years ago or something. Because I was a student, I was going to college and I was taking medical terminology, intro to pharmacology, like I was just taking some pretty dense classes, but I was taking it during summer term. And so those are condensed classes. So dense classes condensed down even further. Um, it was difficult to keep up with. Just I normally haven't had troubles just kind of retaining information and being able to focus, being able to remember, being able to recall. But I just, with that class I really struggled, and I started taking Alpha Brain, and my grades were definitely impacted, and they saw almost immediate improvements. And this Ever since then, 8-10 years ago, Alpha Brain has become kind of a staple for me in just being able to use some of those, critical thinking, use some of these logical processes, and like also, so with Web3 and crypto, it's it can be very emotional. That shit can get emotional as fuck, and it's maintaining a logical mindset in a highly emotional environment it can be challenging for anyone. Doesn't matter. um and being able to think critically, and to be able to utilize your faculties, excuse me, just utilize those mental faculties, um, when, where, how you need to, when you want to. Just there's time is of the essence in some of these things. With if you're you're like me, if you're degenerate at all, like the fucking time. You're like you got to be doing this shit quick. Um, you have to be making a lot of sometimes if you're some of these crypto investors, or just even a regular investor, you have to know and understand so many moving parts of different markets in order to just be successful. For I mean, in crypto, you want to watch the S&P 500, you want to watch the DX, the strength of the dollar, the US dollar. There's just a lot of other factors and a lot of components and moving parts that you have to be aware of if you want to be able to trade, BTC optimally. And then if you want to go into any uh, altcoin below big, just there, it's an onion. There's layers. There's so many layers, and to be aware of all these moving parts simultaneously, synthesize in real time, a decision or something, like, hey, based on all this, like that's complicated. That's really tough. Something like Alpha Brain for investors and people who are just active in the space. Um, I any type of so Alpha Brain is what's called a nootropic. Nootropic is specifically supplements that are geared toward that kind of brain functionality, the memory recall, memory formation, stuff like that. Alpha Brain is a nootropic. Anyone in this space, I highly, highly, highly recommend looking into some type of nootropic, just because the benefit that I've seen in other aspects of my life are have been massive, and bringing that benefit over into crypto Web3 world has been phenomenal. And then the last one is New Mood. Again, this is on it, Joe Rogan and Aubrey Marcus's brand. But so this one, has valerian, chamomile, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. So um, this is going to work on the body's ability to serotonin. So that there's few neurotransmitters, but dopamine and serotonin. Serotonin is typically kind of that sense of wellness and well-being neurotransmitter, whereas dopamine is more the reward. So the kind of I associate personally. You have your fight or flight, epinephrine, norepinephrine, dopamine, things like that. But then when you have rest and digest, you have things like GABA, you have serotonin, and all that stuff. And these two systems are supposed to balance each other out, but in our day and age, that there's uh, a massive misbalance or imbalance between kind of these two systems, even to the point we're seeing that some the SSRIs are not the optimal treatment for many people when it comes to treating depression. Just clinical studies are saying that it's actually not serotonin that is kind of the main system that interacts with depression. We're seeing it's kind of some of these other systems. Even acetylcholine uh, is has they've seen a lot of benefit when interacting with acetylcholine, as opposed to serotonin specifically. And so yeah, New Mood is just it's natural, plant based. It's not going to be medication. Now this one is definitely, because if you're taking an SSRI and you take something like this, you can get what's called serotonin syndrome, where just your body is producing too much serotonin, and it can become life threatening. So this one especially, definitely, um, if that's something that you're looking into and you're taking any type of medication, refer to a medical professional before proceeding with any ingestion of that. But no, this is just kind of my own personal tool set that I found that for me optimizes my my mindset, my ability to focus, my ability to kind of complete tasks, and just sort of overall, I feel this with my mind able to find a homeostatic balance. Um, I feel like I'm able to then expand that homeostatic balance to other processes and other parts of my life and other parts of my body. So that's yeah, that's kind of I guess where I want to start with this, this with health, wealth, and Web3. This is a very large, very dynamic, and it's also a quickly evolving um, narrative that's going on. Just we're learning new stuff almost daily, weekly, new understandings, new discoveries, new medicines, uh, new body functionalities. Just the rate of the rate and expansion of growth of our knowledge is I mean it's already exponential, but it's just it's that rate is something that we can't perceive necessarily. So being able to keep up and maintain our own internal processes with these external processes that are just speeding up, speeding up, speeding up. Um, we need to we need to be able to find homeostasis within ourselves, starting mentally, and then once we find that homeostatic balance mentally, we can focus on things like our other aspects of our physical health. We can focus on things like spiritual health. We can focus on things like our economic health. We can focus on things like our financial health. There's just really I believe that everything starts with kind of that mental, well, a combination of the two, your mental state and your physiological mental state. I guess if that makes sense, like your neurotransmitters and like I was saying, that soup. Um, so finding homeostasis and utilizing understanding and utilizing natural tools in order to optimize your body's ability to function as well as find that homeostasis are moving forward in web3 and just kind of a world where the general consumer is becoming much more educated and empowered. um, that with the cost of freedom is eternal vigilance. That now that we're learning and understanding that like the silent tax of inflation is just it's a lot of us have not realized just how massively that has destroyed our buying power over the past couple decades. But now a lot more of us are like, well, shit, that's not fucking cool. Like, no, that's not happening. But in order to keep up with that, it's we're already we're starting on the back foot. We're starting flat-footed to a certain extent, and so utilizing these tools nutritionally, really importantly, nutritional tools, natural nutritional tools that we can use to just optimize our abilities, our body's ability to operate and function. Um, it's people don't realize just how vital it is for us moving forward. So that's gonna be it for the first live episode of Health Wealth Web3, episode 3. Plan on doing this at least every Thursday to Saturday. And today just a kind of solo commentary, but I hope to have some interviews, have guests, even have Q&A from just people who uh, there are larger conversations that I feel need to be had or should be had. And I'm going to try to do what I can to facilitate those conversations happening. So just we can make progress in these aspects. So thanks for tuning in. Hope everyone is well. Good day, good evening, good night, and catch you next time.